Crazy that family of 4 has lasted. No issues. It's snowing again.
I question our sanity hourly as of late because we have just had so much craziness. Like putting the roof on, I did not think I was going to have to be up on a roof, guys. I did not. And yet there I was, and in the dark with 2 can lights, hoping for the best. So, I don't know. This is a big adventure. We may not be going anywhere per se, but this is like another big life adventure.
We're making memories. Good, bad, ugly, we're making memories, people. Hey guys, my name's James.
And I'm Ashley.
After selling our house and traveling the country for years, we decided to build an RV home base to come back to.
Hi, I'm Goose. I'm Ashley.
Join us! Good morning, Seffi. What are we doing, love? Hey, where you going? Good morning, guys. As you can see, the snow is melting, which means we are getting to that slush stage. And because of that, we got some problems. So last night we came in here, there was a giant puddle of water on the floor here. And as we continue towards the back of the house, you can still see a lot of this moisture on the floor here. You can see the dry wood over here, and then the wet wood over here. You can hear a pretty steady drip coming from that little hole. Is one of the holes in the sheet metal that we used for our temporary ridge vent, because if you remember in our last video, we replaced our roof. It was a huge fiasco. I don't even remember where we left off because it was an insane 72 hours, to the point where we were having our little floodlights up there trying to get stuff done in the middle of the night. It was a pain. I will link that video up above if you have not seen it, or if it's part of this video. I don't even know. Usually I have an idea in my head of how these videos are going to cut together, but it has been so crazy the past week, I don't even know. So anyways, it's not a massive horrible leak, but it is enough that if we don't do something about it, eventually our floor and our insulation will be ruined. The subfloor is meant to get somewhat wet, you know, because normal construction conditions, the wood and the studs and everything is out in the elements for at least a week, if not a month or so. But it's just, we have our insulation underneath there, our rigid foam insulation, so we don't want it to get too wet. So today my goal is to get up on the roof, brush off all the snow, and figure out how to plug those holes just a little bit better so we don't have this leaking issue in the future, because we have rain and snow in the forecast for the next 10 days at least. And our sheet metal doesn't come in for another week, no, not week, 2 weeks plus, and who knows if shipping will be delayed like the other stuff was. So we have at least 2 weeks of this that we need to figure out how to deal with, because I don't want to be out here with buckets and towels and fans drying it off every night. But I will say, on a side note, the girls have been loving the snow. In fact, here's a little montage of us sledding and playing in our first snow. What are you doing, Seffi? What are you smelling? How's the snow? Smash into the container. How was that, Matt? Oh, is that good tasting snow?
That was faster than last time.
Nice job. All right, you guys, we got our first freshly fallen snow, and we are testing out.
Stephanie! Persephone!
Oh yeah, Persephone, come on, girl. Come on. Good girl, come on. Good girl. Persephone's loving the snow. But as I was saying, we are testing out our roof underlayment because it's now got a few inches of snow on it, and I'm a little nervous. All right, Mav, you gonna go with her?
Come on! Not down the hill.
Not down this hill? Okay, all right.
Okay, you
Goose, one more time. Let's see how fast you can go. Let's see if you can go all the way through the container. Ready, set, go. Honestly, with memories like that, it's hard to be too frustrated with the situation because Goose absolutely loved the snow. What I didn't catch on camera is she was out here for like 2 hours straight. She got on her brand new snow gear that she got for Christmas. She was using her sled that she got from Santa. She was stoked about it. So I am very excited about this property. Not only is it an awesome summer property where we can go out and ride quads and play and just go explore and build tree forts, which I have such fond memories of doing that kind of stuff as a kid, so I'm very excited for them to have similar memories. But then in the winter, we have consistent snow, which I didn't have as a kid, but I loved. I know I loved snow days. So anyways, I am so excited about this property. So the good news is it looks like our ice and vapor barrier shield here, ice and water shield, is doing its job because there's no leaks in the middle part of the roof, just up at the top where we have that giant hole. Whew. Holy crap, that's a little sketchy. I know it doesn't feel like much, but it's a little sketchy being up there. Okay, so I think my theory is correct. So on this edge part, our tarp that we have up there over the top of our metal ridge piece ends about a foot before, like probably right about there. And so then there's about 3 feet of that metal ridge cap that has snow built up on it. And so when that snow is melting or when the rain hits it, it then goes down here and finds those holes and just leaks through those holes. So what I think I'm gonna do is get a tarp and just throw it over the corner there and hope that that solves our problem once I get all the water out. We'll see. But man, my nose, I'm not used to this kind of cold weather yet, this high altitude cold weather. I say high altitude, we're less than 2,000 feet. But anyways, it's my excuse for being out of breath. So for reference, this is the 6 mil vapor barrier that I have running the entire length of that ridge cap that we put over the top of the metal there. So basically this was to waterproof and the ridge cap was to give that structural support over. You can see there's like a 12-inch gap at the top where the OSB meets. So that's what's causing all of this issue, is the water is getting underneath this vapor barrier. So I need to like patch these end caps so that doesn't happen.
Have you ever heard a voice that sounds like an old friend? Takes you right back to the kitchen. You can almost smell the cake that your grandma made on your birthday.
Have you ever laid on your back under a poplar tree, thinking about all your memories, looking at the sky, wondering why this feels like home?
Like a Tennessee river in the morning takes your breath without a warning.
Feels like home.
Like smoke rising up from the mountains, all the beauty surrounds.
Feels like home.
Like Elvis and Dolly singing a melody that's bringing you home. 'Cause it feels like home.
Feels like home. Feels like home.
All right, Now maybe you guys have a better idea of what I'm talking about. It's just kind of encompassing that whole outer edge to hopefully eliminate all of the wind-driven rain and the snow from getting in there. Now I just gotta go do the other side. So as you guys might be able to tell why our hallway here, or our kitchen, looks like a closet. We had a slight malfunction with one of our dehumidifier bags. We had one of those like crystal dehumidifier bags that you can hang up in your closet to help absorb some moisture. We kind of forgot we had it in there, and then when we left, we dropped our thermostat down to like 40. And I guess the edge of the RV where the closet is was isolated enough that I think it froze and cracked the bag and then leaked all over our clothes. So we kind of got our clothes hanging out here in front of the dehumidifier to dry things out. Definitely they'll need to be washed because they smell a little funk. Oh, you're okay, Sephi. But don't do that. You're all right. All right, well, Sephi and the girls are in here finishing up their schoolwork. We're gonna do our school, right, girls? Say yes, Daddy. I don't argue with school ever. I'm a perfect child. They never complain about school. While they're doing that, we're gonna head out to the house and try and get some stuff done. What? You wanna say hi? What do you wanna say? Say hello. Say I love you, Daddy. Oh, careful. All right, you guys do your work. I'll come back in and check on you. Oh, be good. I'll come back and check on you in a little bit.
All right, so we have a roof, which is nice. When there were skylights, it was a little daunting because they were not skylights I wanted, and I knew rain and snow was coming. And so now we have, what loveliness is this? A giant tarp. Again, I feel like this house is nothing but tarps lately. So yeah, all along here has dribbles and drops, and it's leaking from the tarp into the bucket. And then up here there's dribbles and drops, and it leaks from there, from the tarp into the buckets. Like, this was just a hot mess when we first got back. So, you know, positive thinking, silver lining, at least it's the wood that can get wet that got wet, but we didn't really want it to get wet. Anyway, so today is going to be cleaning up, making sure that we can move around. That was like the big thing that I started doing yesterday, was getting all of the wood out of the office, the kids' room, and put away so that we could actually get some work done. So today's task is finishing that pickup and getting rid of all of the nails and the screws and the bolts and the everything that used to be in here that we just kind of threw down and now need to be thrown away or done something with. And then the next part is just figuring out where we want all of our outlet boxes. I think it's super handy to basically have outlets everywhere. However, that would look horrible. So we're trying to find the most convenient and just kind of figure out what we want, where we want it, and go from there. And by go from there, I mean James will take over and do all the electrical stuff because that is beyond me.
So somewhere back there are the blue electrical junction boxes that we need to get out so we can start placing all of our receptacles and our switches and everything like that. Unfortunately, there's about 4 months of stuff that is accumulated over the top of it because we bought a lot of that stuff early on, just prepping for it, not knowing when exactly we would get to it. In hindsight, I probably should have waited knowing that it was going to be a ways out, but again, hindsight's 2020. So anyways, I gotta pull a bunch of this stuff out and get back there to hopefully get to not only my pecs and stuff, which I'll need next for plumbing, but all of those boxes for today. Ugh. I guess it's about time we took down our Christmas tree too. Found it. And I actually did remember, I did actually use 3 or 4 of these up on the pump house. So since I bought the giant contractor box, I guess it did make sense to get it early on. See, sometimes I do know what I'm doing. Not a lot, but sometimes. All right, guys. Now that we've got our blue electrical junction boxes from the storage container, which was actually much easier to get out than I thought, that's gonna be my next step. You guys saw in the background, Ash is actually cleaning off a bunch of this old insulation right here that was in the walls and the ceiling that has some just dirt and grime, probably mold in some spots, but we got our mold and mildew killer. But since this insulation isn't cheap and we plan on either using it for this house or a future idea that we haven't even talked about yet, we're gonna clean all this off because it's worth spending the time versus spending $20 to $25 a sheet in the future. Anyway, so while she's finishing that up, I'm gonna go and place these just on the floor inside of the walls or up like this on the tops of the 4-foot eaves to where the light switches and stuff will be, of how I think the house will be laid out. And then we'll do a test and Ashley will go through and completely change everything to how it should actually be laid out. But that's what I'm gonna go through right now. It shouldn't take too long to get these kind of placed out, and then she'll pause and then come around and kind of go back through. And then I'll talk about maybe some of the weird and unique ones other than the average, you know, having 2 or 3 outlets on a wall spaced out every 6 feet, because I believe that is code, is that at least 6 feet apart, you need to have these receptacles so that way you're not stretching extension cords 10 feet across the room and that kind of thing. So at the bare minimum, every 6 feet, so every 3 studs, we're gonna have an outlet. But probably more, and probably some unique different ones that you might not have thought about. All right, back to work.
Can you hear me that polka dot thing?
So even though the snow is melting, the girls are out here sledding on the last little bit of snow that they can find and build up. This is why I love being out here. So the kids can have opportunities like this, memories that they won't forget. But their poor little hands gotta be freezing. Yeah! What? Oh, you break it. Good job. All right. Good luck. Have fun. Unfortunately, she nailed this one together versus screwing. So there's really no other option other than bashing it apart. Thankfully, I'm not reusing this window. We're putting this brand new one in. Okay guys, now that Ash has finished cleaning all of that styrofoam, I have placed all of the junction boxes, all of the outlets and switches where I think they should be. How many do you think Ash is gonna change? 1, 2, 10? I don't know, I'm putting my best, probably like 4 changes, maybe 5. All right, I will follow you around. So starting off in the master,
So this
we
is
have
obviously what's outside.
our main light switch.
Yeah.
Right here. Then we have a box there, one in the middle, and then we have some in the corner. And then this is the bedside one that we had talked about. That
Is our bed facing this way?
Yeah. How did you think the bed was going to be
I
faced?
figured it would be facing this way,
That makes it really annoying for whoever's on this side to get in the bed.
which is usually you.
I guess we should have figured out room layout before I decided where it's going, because I thought the bed was going to be going here like this,
But that wouldn't make sense.
and she thought the bed was going against that wall there.
No, I thought it was going against this wall,
Oh, facing this way?
facing this.
But I like the idea of waking up in the morning and being able to see out or lay in bed and see out the window and actually experience the
Actually,
nature.
that would make more sense because then the TV isn't.
Sorry. Oh, it hurts. I still hurt from moving stuff around the roof. I think I got pleurisy or whatever that is, basically where I pulled my chest muscles or sternum or whatever. Anyways.
He got the pleurisy. Anyway, I feel hairy. Like anybody else, any women.
Hey, she has shaved recently, so I can attest she's not hairy.
Any women have that like hair where it just goes into your jacket and then you're just annoyed. Anyway.
Okay, so
it makes sense if you want to have the bed here because then the TV won't be on the girls' wall. It'll be on the wall that faces outside.
That makes the most sense. So then these 2 outlets that are about 2 feet up will be over here. And basically what these outlets are, guys, is we have one on each side of the bed that's about 2 feet tall versus the average like 12 inches high. Because on those specific outlets, we'll put in the USB little direct plug-in thingamajigger, so that way when other people are coming or ourselves don't have to have the little USB boxes. Yeah, it's very cold out here. We can just plug directly in there and it's hidden and it's out of the way and it's always there and we don't have to worry about someone stole my USB plug.
Oh, it's stole.
What was that?
Sorry. That was an overreaction to it, but come on now.
Okay, so that's, I would say, 2 changes because 2 boxes are moving. We continue to have boxes going around every couple feet.
Yeah.
Right here. And
I
then
don't understand the point of the one in the corner over here.
that one is not up. That's just supposed to be down low, but I couldn't reach it. So then we have light switch there because we already talked about it with the way the door is swinging. So if the door is swinging that way, the light switch kind of has to go over there.
Yes.
And then for power for your desk, we figured we'd have one about desk height so that way you can have a plug right in front of you for easy access, but then also you'll have one on the floor down underneath there. Does that work for you? Do you need more than those 2 plugs, you think?
No.
And then reverse, I'm gonna have the same plug.
I've got 50 plugs.
Basically, I'm gonna have one on the inside here, and then I just set these 2 here because it's crowded, but there'll be one desk height and then one floor level,
Yeah.
and the same thing in that far corner. And then I was gonna put one in that wall back there, even though that will be like our...
That's where our clothes are.
I was gonna say, let me explain. That'll be our clothes wall, but what I figured is maybe one of those middle shelves on that thing right there will be a device charging station hidden out of the way and discreet.
All your
camera,
all your camera stuff.
Exactly. So by having that one there, all of the cords and everything can be in that shelf.
Not too shabby, chick.
Yeah, yeah.
Not too shabby.
Okay. And then this is the last box in here, which will be the light switch for the closet.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I should put that there.
All right, moving on to the hallway. We have one outlet right here servicing the hallway. And then moving into the girls' room.
I guess it's a little hallway. But like, what if I want something decorative on like this side?
I mean, we can put a reverse plug over there. That's not a big deal.
I mean, yeah.
All right, that's change number 3. So put that facing out.
Well, it's just, that way you have options.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so moving in.
Light switch.
Everything is pretty basic with the girls. Basically just an outlet every 4 feet or so around the edge
Just
of the
cleaned
walls.
up this place. I tell you what.
So we'll have one on this side,
Yes.
one on this side, and then there's probably, I think, 2 on each wall
That makes sense.
going around.
I like that.
And that's pretty much it in here, nothing fancy. Actually, one thing I just
How
forgot
one,
about.
like up there.
I was just gonna say, yep.
Oh, okay.
Moving on through the tunnel into the living, dining, kitchen area. This is where things will probably change dramatically, I guess, by Ashley. So right here
Oven.
underneath the window will be the oven, which is why I have no power directly in the middle there.
Yes.
But what I do have is 2 in the corner,
Sides. Oh, that's
one
beautiful.
one over there to the left. So you all have 3 plugs right there in the corner for multiple devices. And then over here to the left of the stove, we'll have an outlet.
Refrigerator.
Well, not immediately left. That one will be
That's
an actual
refrigerator.
outlet.
That's not-
And then I was going to have 1 high and 1 low. So that way we have a dedicated one for the fridge and then another one if we need anything.
Okay. No, I like that. I love that. I love having more outlets around my kitchen area.
Yes.
Just because you plug so much in.
And then we do have the one that's already been wired right here.
Beautiful. I
for
know
the
it looks,
island.
Like, stupid, and everybody's like, oh my god, but it's an outlet, and it'll be for my island, so.
By the way, how's my window looking, everybody?
It's gonna be so bright.
Look at the size of it, like it's so much nicer. And then we have our 1 more plug on this side of the window and our main light switch for coming in and turning on the kitchen lights. Actually, there's a couple more. So there'll be a plug there. I figured we would have a high one in case we wanted the coffee maker plugged in, and then 2 on either end of this wall right here.
Is there no way to get one a little higher up?
Well, that's what this one is right here.
Yeah, like
Oh, you want one on high up here on this wall too? Would you prefer it on this wall or just having high on this wall? Because it seems redundant. I mean, we could, but
what about over on this part, like right? Oh, you have it right here. Never mind. Okay.
yeah, I mean that is more viewable, I guess you could say. I was just trying to limit
Sounds like our
eyesores.
roof is peeing.
Yeah, by the way, our roof is still leaking heavily, so we're glad we have the tarp up. But no, we can put 2 high, 1 there,
But
and
like
1
not
there.
high, like not like high.
No,
like
well, high like
where it
kitchen
can
level
hide.
high.
No, where it can like hide by
Well,
that thing.
normal outlets, babe, they're not going to be on the floor. They're going to be about a foot up.
But can't they be a little higher up?
Yeah. So there is change number 4 or 5. I think that's change number 4. I'm gonna count that as change number 4. All right, crawl with me here underneath our tarp. Now you can, from this side, you can kind of see really what this is doing.
Just gonna clean off our couches and then.
Flowing down into our bucket. Anyways, I digress. Okay, so
It's crazy that it's just that one spot.
well, it's mainly that one hole right there, which is hilarious. So we could probably, I would go up there and just put a screw in it, but then I would have to pull the tarp. It's not. Anyways, so back to the outlets, babe. Let's get this. I apologize for the length of this video.
Yes.
We have 1 on either side of this window,
Okay.
right there. And then over here in the corner, we have 1 on each end, so that way you have something if it needs to be plugged on this wall, and then something if it needs to be plugged on that wall. And then moving back, we'll have 1 down low for the entertainment center, and then 1 up a little higher directly behind the TV, so that way there's no power cord going down for the TV.
I want to do that in our bedroom too, by the way.
Okay.
Those ones that you had in the middle, I was gonna
All
tell
right,
you off.
change number 5. Ding, ding, ding. And then 1 more is over here on the side.
Okay, too cold for no jacket.
What are you doing out here, Mav?
I
You just wanted to come say hi?
can I have another cheese stick?
One more.
They are getting pizza tonight.
I know. Look at me. Last one. Okay. Okay.
All right, love you.
Love you.
Love you.
To infinity.
And yeah, bye.
Peace
Bye.
out, Slice.
Okay, my battery's about to die. So 1 more outlet over here.
Bye.
Peace out, home slice. Okay, so is that good for this wall?
Yes.
Okay, we didn't even talk about it, but right here when you walk in on this side, there's a dual switch that will control the hallway and then also the lights over here in the dining living room side.
Okay.
And actually, a question that I want to ask you, how many controls do you want for our lights out here as far as our kitchen lights, our dining, and our living room lights? Do you want all 3 to have different controls, or do you want left side, right side? How do you want it?
I mean, all 3 having different controls would be nice, minus that you'd have to get up and be like, we need more light. And you'd have to go to each individual one. But at the same time, like when it's early morning and like you want to have some quiet time.
So then taking it to the next level, we'll have probably these two lights over here controlled by one switch, which will be that one. And then we can put a switch over there against that wall, which can control the 1 or 2 lights over the top of the dining. For the kitchen, do we want separate controls for right side, left side, so you just have one extra spotlight like over the top of the island? Or do you want all of that half to turn on with one switch? Keep in mind, it will be on a dimmer.
I was gonna say, I think all on one switch is fine.
Okay,
and I like the dimmer. So here's the other thing. You're gonna need a switch there because I would like to have a, what is it, food in the sink.
Garbage disposal?
Yeah, I would like to have a garbage disposal.
Okay,
So,
I mean, that's totally doable. I just did not account for that yet.
okay, maybe one more here so that we can flip on the power for the fireplace.
Oh, you want a separate switch? Well, I don't think that makes sense for the fireplace because most fireplaces have remotes, and
Okay.
when you flip it on, you then have to use a remote.
Just a
Hold on, we
minute.
need to finish. Hold on. Okay, so that would be, so we're getting rid of the fireplace switch, so we're not doing that one.
Wow, didn't even talk about it. Just
Because
completely X-name
I
it.
did. I said it doesn't make sense because the fireplace will have a remote, and you'd have to flip the switch and then push the button on the remote, so it just doesn't make sense. But I did not take into account the garbage disposal, so that brings us up to 6 changes instead of the 4 or 5 that I suggested. So she is more picky than I thought she would be.
Not that picky. I'm just helping you understand the layout.
Not picky, I just forgot. What's up? Our next child has arrived. What's up, Goose?
I don't know, just seeing when we're gonna leave.
Are you guys done yet?
I know.
Okay, let's clean up because tonight is Bible study and it's our first time meeting everybody, so I should probably not look like this.
Smell, you know.
Smell like this too. You guys have no idea.